Hi Vince, this is Mark. Just wanted to show you the downclocking for base clock tweak for 3Dmark TimeSpy. So I booted up at 100 base clock and I'm running 4.5 gigahertz on the processor. And what I plan to do is to lower this at 97 during the bench and trick, or what this will do is slow down the time of Windows time, but Futuremark, what's going to happen, it will take a measurement before and after the GT2, and if the times are not syncing, you get the error. So the way to compensate for this is to reset Windows clock while GT2 is finished and loading for physics. So I've got two monitors here. The first one will run 3Dmark, the second one will be for the time. So I right click on the time, go to adjust date and time, and this window here says set time automatically, the top one here. So I put it to off for now, and I'm going to move this over to the second window here. So I will leave that as is, run 3Dmark, the first graphic scene and the second one, and once the second is done and loading physics, I will set time automatically to enable, and that will correct the time, so therefore Futuremark and Windows time will be synced. If you don't do this, you will get the time measurement error. So let's give this a try. Okay. So 3Dmark, open this. So I'm going to prepare this to 97, and I'll only press enter once system info is completed. Alright, so let's click run, and once this screen is over and loading GT1, I'll press enter to set up 97 base clock. Okay, so it's loading now, so I'm going to press enter. Now I'm actually running the 97. Okay. So I did my own testing, and changing the block from 100 to 97 in the operating system, I used a clock watch and set it to 5 minutes, and I was also checking Windows time at the same time to see how much slower it was, and after 5 minutes Windows time was recording 5 minutes and 7 seconds, so 7 seconds slower than the time watch. So if you I then went and increased it to base clock to 103, and it was the opposite, so it actually Windows time was 5 minutes less 7 seconds, so 4 minutes 53. So you can play around with just the base clocks between scenes. So the method I'm showing you is just one way. The other way is to run half of GT1 at let's say 97, and then increase it to 103 midway through GT1, and the times will actually end up syncing at the end of GT2. So I think there's multiple ways around this, so hopefully Futuremark can integrate some sort of monitoring for the base clocks. So far it's a 2% variance, I believe. So if I were to run the whole bench at 99.5, it will validate. If I run it at 99.0, it will then fail. So plus or minus 0.5 of a base clock is fine to validate, and it's within the 2% margin that they allow. So in the meantime, I'm going to increase this to 100 just to prepare it, and once GT2 is done, I'll press enter, because it doesn't seem the base clock downclocking works for physics. It basically just lowers your score, but for graphics it actually does give you a boost. Right now I'm running about 2 frames per second higher than I would have done for 100 base clock. So I gotta be quick. As soon as I press at the end of the scene, I gotta change this to automatic while it's loading. If I'm too early or too late, it will actually crash the bench and just bring me back to Windows. So I'm gonna press enter to change to 100 block right now. And I'm gonna get myself ready to change this while it's loading right now. Okay, so I just click this, so it did set the time automatically. I'm still loading, so that should be fine, and this should validate. And there we go, a valid score. So usually I would be running around 200, and it's actually something I can do right now. So while I'm at 100, I'm just going to run the whole thing. Okay, so let's go to benchmark, TimeSpy. Now this is set to enable. I'm not changing base clock at all here. I'm just doing a straight run at 100 for comparison of the score. I think there are other ways somebody could trick the timing. OC panel has a feature called pause, and well, the slow mode. I think the pause might be able to slow down time. I haven't done all those testing yet. So let's say, for example, you are at loading physics. You might be able to use the pause to your advantage for that, just to slow down time, or if you're, yeah, anyways. It's not something that I have explored yet. So again, I'm running the Rampage 5 edition 10 with a i7-6950X, 32 gigs of RAM, running at 3200 megahertz the memory, CL131313. Have the OC panel to control all the clocks, voltages, and so on. I got the two monitors here that are hooked up with display ports. One of them is an adapter converter. It's a long video, but I think it will explain pretty much everything you need to know. So you can actually boot up at a higher base clock. So for example, on the earlier run I was booting at 102 and then moving all the way down to 97, and that 5 block decrease is an even higher boost in here. So it's all about finding what is your minimum base clock stable and what is your maximum stable, and you can boot up into the windows with your maximum boot stable and then just lower it all the way down. But it's always tricky when you get to the physics parts, because it's pretty intense on the CPU, so often it would just end up crashing. So base clock of 102 or lower was actually better, the best combination, and go down all the way to 65.5 for my case, but that was hit or miss as well. So alright, so we're almost done here. So here is where I would have set time to automatically change, but this one is a straight run, 100 block. There you go. So just over 300 points just for changing the the base clock. This was not easy to find, I gotta be honest. I spent over 2 weeks just, you know, tweaking here and there when I had a chance, but and there you go. Straight run 12,186 versus let's load up. Just gotta load up the previous one. You can find it. I think it's the last one here. Yeah, so just over 300 points. So there you go. That's my tweak that I just found out. I think others are using it, so yeah. Talk to you later.